All right, so number one, on the very first page, you have find the vertex of the following quadratic function. Okay, if you see this right here, what form is this in? Does anybody know? There's three forms: standard, vertex. I don't know why I put a 3 there. Oh my gosh. They're all quadratics. Factored, yeah, factored. The factored form is sometimes called intercept form because it tells you quickly the x-intercepts. Okay, so this form right here is which one? Standard, vertex, or factored? Vertex. Very good. So to find the vertex, you take the opposite of that number, and you take that number. That's your answer.
So
you'd have to do no work. No, negative b over 2a is this one. When it's in standard form, you use negative b over 2a. When you have the vertex, all you have to do is take the opposite and keep it. Because this is what we went over, guys. X squared is your parent graph. Sorry, that should go through 0, 0. So when you have that x squared, and then when I do this to it, what does that do? What does x minus 9 squared do? What does the minus 9 in the parentheses do?
Makes it positive.
Makes it move which way? Look at your foldables up there on the...
You mean that makes it move to the left?
No.
Up.
Not left. No. Look at the window. Which one is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8? Since it's like this, x minus 9, it is number 4. That x minus 9 is like x minus b. That makes it move right 9. So what happens is that vertex moves right 9. What does the minus 2 on the outside do? Down 2. So that's why your vertex, this ordered pair, goes right 9, down 2. What does this negative do?
Moves it, flips it down.
Flips it down. And what does the 5/7 do?
Means it's a vertical stretch.
No,
No,
not stretch.
Compression.
Vertical compression because it's less than 1. It's less than 1, bigger than 0 when you take the negative off of it. So that's why the vertex is so quickly found that way, because it's just the transformation. All right, so number 2, you have what happened? What's the vertex?
The same thing. It's
1, what?
1, 0.
1, 0, yeah. It goes right 1 and nothing happens here. So this would push that parent graph of 0, 0. It would push it right 1. It does not do anything here. So there's your vertex. All right, what about what form is that in?
Factor.
That's, no. No. Vertex.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 3. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. 3 is in what? Standard. Now that is the same thing as this right here. I did that for a reason. This is kind of like in vertex form right here. Why? Because I don't have an x term, do I? I didn't have an x term here unless I multiply it out. See, there's not an x term like, you know, if you multiply this out, you'd have an x squared, you'd have an x, and you'd have a number. Here, you wouldn't have an x, right? So it's kind of like in vertex form. So since this doesn't have anything with it, it doesn't go left or right, and that pushes it which way? Come on, someone knows.
Okay.
Up 8. So that goes up 8. There's nothing with the x, so it doesn't go left or right because it's in parentheses. But like Zoe said, it looks like it's in standard form. How do you find the vertex in standard form?
Negative over 2a.
Okay, what's your, so you have negative. What's your b?
I don't think it affected, don't you gotta
It's 8 and
put it out?
No. What's the term in front of x?
4.
Nope. That's the term in front of x squared. What's the term in front of x?
Yeah.
Is there an x?
It's in front of it.
No. Is there, look right here. This is standard form. Is there a single x? No. There's an x squared, so the a equals 4. What does the b equal? 0, and the c equals 8. That's why y'all missed that one, some of you. Some of you put 8, some of you put 4, some of you put nothing. But negative, the b is 0. What's the a? 4. What 0? Negative 0 over 8 is what? 0. So that's the x coordinate of the vertex. How do I find the y coordinate of the vertex?
Don't you gotta plug it in 0?
Yep, plug 0 right there. What 0 squared?
0.
0 times 4
0.
plus 8. So 0, 8 is your vertex. Are there any questions there? This is y'all's time, guys. Do you have any questions?
No, can we do 4?
Yeah, we'll definitely do. We're going to do all of them. All right, number 4.
It has A, B,
It has A, B,
and C.
and C. It's in standard form. What's your A?
4.
What's your B?
Negative 8.
What's your C?
9.
How do you find your vertex?
Negative over 2a.
So it's going to be what?
8 over 4 times 2.
Okay. Which would be?
8 over 8, which equals 1.
Okay. Does anybody have questions?
I got on half credit for that.
Okay. So plug it back in. You go with that?
So anytime you're finding a vertex, it's gonna be a ordered pair.
Mm-hmm.
So why you just plug?
Eggs back into the equation.
Yeah, so when you do this, it's an x value. So when you say that's part of the vertex, that's good. That's the x part. So how do you get the y part? The y part is y is determined by this x. So when I say 4 times the x value squared minus 8 times the x value plus 8, the x value in this case is 1. Does that make sense, Zoe? Like I could say, what's the y value when x equals 40? And I could plug 40 in for x. And that would be an ordered pair, it just would not be the vertex. This right here is specific to the vertex. So what's the vertex? 1.5. Are there any questions? All right, number 5 was a little bit difficult because this was no calculator, right?
Yep.
So what I did with this one is if you got the x coordinate, I gave you credit. If you did not get the y coordinate, I didn't count off. If you did get it, I gave you extra credit. So how do you find the x coordinate of the vertex?
Negative b over 2a
So negative 18 over 2 times 2.
is going to be 4 into 18 equals 4.5.
Negative 9 over 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Negative 18 over 4. So that's negative 9 over 2. Thank you, Zoe.
How come you did
How come I did what?
that negative 18 over 4? Where's that coming from?
Negative 18 over 2 times 2.
And then you just reduce the fraction and you get the answer?
You just reduce the fraction, yes. I think you said negative 4.5, which is fine, Zach. But I do,
Well, 4.5 is something you can put back in.
well, what's 4.5 squared?
I have to
Yeah, that's what, you don't have to have a calculator with the fraction.
I can do it in paper, that's what you can take on it.
So if you plug that back in, okay,
Like,
You-
yeah, that right there. How do you do that?
so what's negative 9 over 2 squared? You have to do the exponents first,
Negative 9 times negative 9
right?
be positive 81 over 4
Good. Times that by 2.
plus 18. And then you're going to do negative 19 times.
And I wouldn't,
No,
but,
you wouldn't because it's not squared.
well, you don't have to square this, right? But what is 18 times this right here? What could I do? The 18 and 2 would reduce by a 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but 2 is 18 9 times.
Right? So 19 times 9 is what you would do.
Now, how come you doing that?
How come I'm doing 19 times 9?
Because you have to multiply 18. Oh, I see.
Mhm.
I see. Then you're going to subtract 1 from 171, which should be 170.
Well, no, because this is negative, because it's 18 times negative 19, so that overall number is negative.
So it's going to be negative 172.
Well, I can go over this, but I didn't count it wrong. Okay. So did you get this, Zoe? Or no? If I have to put negative 9/2 back into x, I don't have a calculator, remember?
Yeah.
So negative 9/2 squared is negative 9/2 times negative 9/2. Multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. Now, I can't reduce here. Like, there's not a 9 on the bottom or a 3, or there's no common things that I can do here. So I just go ahead and multiply. Negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81 over 4, because 2 times 2. That right there became 81 over 4. And then I still have that 2 that I need to multiply.
Mm-hmm.
What I did here was I had 18 over 1 times negative 19 over 2. Remember, this is what we did a long time ago. Like 18 would reduce to 2 times 9. And if I have the same thing on the top and bottom, they can go away.
That would be negative 9.
Positive 9.
Oh,
Sorry, that's a dot for the multiplication. So 9 times 19 is 171 with the negative, because the 19 is a negative. This is important to know, but it's not something that I will quiz you on, okay? So now if I complete this without a calculator, what could happen to the 2 and 4?
And multiply.
Well, 2 would go to 2 and 2.
Couldn't you just multiply straight across?
You can, but 2 times 81 is 162, right? Over 4.
You gotta divide it out.
By 2, right?
Well, by 4, wouldn't you?
Well, that's a decimal. Remember, you don't have a calculator, right? This is what Trevor and I argued over. Like you said, a while ago, 4.5 was the correct answer, but you couldn't tell me what 4.5 squared was. But you could tell me what 9 over 2 squared was. So this is the same thing. Like 162 divided by 4 would be a decimal.
Yeah. So you just work it out as a fraction.
Right. What goes into both of those is a 2. But see, right here, if 4 is 2 times 2, the 2's would go away, and I have 81 over 2, so you skip a step.
2 times 81.
It's 162. Over 1 times 4 is 4, which reduces. Zoe, are you okay?
No.
Zoe, I'm going to plow through. Okay, if you want to know how to do this, if you will stay for like 3 minutes at the end of class, I can help you, okay? All right, right here, I would put these over 1. Go ahead and get the LCD. What's 171 times 2? 342 minus 2 over 2. And then do all that math. Oh dear. 342.81. This is why I didn't count it against you, because this is not what I wanted to quiz you on.
So will it count against us this time?
No, you won't have one like this. If you do, it won't count against you.
Is it like a different test?
Yeah, it'll be a different test. 263. All right, so there you have it. All right. All right, number 6, 7, and 8, y'all did pretty well with.
Yeah, that's crazy.
4 roots. What does 4 roots mean?
Means you're going to draw the
Crosses
cross and then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4.
crosses the x-axis 4 times. 0 roots. Most of you did that. Some of you turned it this way. And number 8, a straight line that has 0 roots. If that's the coordinate plane, 0 roots in a straight line would have to be horizontal. Could you draw this and it have 1 root?
Yes, because it crosses the x-axis.
Yes, that could be fine, given those instructions. If it said draw a function that has 1 solution, that could not be it, because that's not a function, because if I draw a vertical line, I hit everything.
On that.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. You're right, Zach. That's 1 solution, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some of you...
The top. I don't understand the top.
This one?
Yeah. That's not crossing the X.
Right. So that meets the requirements for number 8, because it says 0 roots.
Okay. I drew 1.
You drew 2.
Yeah.
Zach drew this one and said it had 0 roots.
And I drew 1 by corner and showed me
And then he drew this one. So which one did I give him credit for?
the one on the right.
This one. Why is this one wrong?
It's gonna keep on going.
Yeah. That arrow indicates it keeps on going. Now I had some people, they drew this.
And that would be right because the line stops there and
Right.
starts there.
That's a segment, that's a ray, so it stopped there, it never touched the x-axis, okay?